الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصاب سيد الشهداء أبي عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام. There is a famous word from the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, that إن لقتل الحسين عليه السلام حرارة في قلوب المؤمنين لا تبرد أبدا. There is a heartfelt passion for the master of the martyrs, Imam Hussein, in the hearts of the faithful, that this harara, this heat, this passion would never end. We are approaching the day of Ashura, يوم من أيام الله, a day of divine, a day of sacrifice and salvation, a day of Mi'raj, the ascension of the souls of the sons of our Holy Prophet to the kingdom of heaven. And it is important to remember at least a few famous statements of Imam Hussein alayhi salam all the time. And these are the lines and guidance for all those who are looking for hayat tayyibah and honorable life. One of them is that the Imam said, Allah tarawna anna al-haqqa la yu'malu bih wa anna al-batila la yutana'ahan. What really matters for Imam Hussein is al-haq, the truth. And all he cares is to fight the batil. Another famous statement, إني لا أرى الموت إلا سعادة والحياة مع الظالمين إلا برمة. That a faithful may get to the point that the moment of death is the moment of truth, and the moment of happiness, that is liqa Allah, and continuation of the life under injustice is boring. It's not enjoyable anymore. Another famous word of Imam when he addressed his enemy, and he said, Ya Shi'ata ala Abi Sufyan, إن لم يكن لكم دين وكنتم لا تخافون المعاد فكونوا أحرارا في دنياكم. Even if you have no faith in God and Day of Judgment, but don't you have faith in freedom and human dignity? كونوا أحرارا, be dignified and free. And he continued to say, Hayhat minna dhilla. We are not tolerating humiliation and slavery under the oppressors. He also told his enemies, hours before his death, he said, Irji'u ila uqulikum. Now, if you are not following religion, don't you want to follow at least your reasons, your rationality? If no religion, at least your reason. Because you are ruining your dignity with your actions. Use your mind. And finally, on that painful day, he said, هل من ناصر ينصرني وهل من معين يعين. It's not out of desperate that Imam is so desperate and hopeless and depressed, but he is making a very serious statement, and he is challenging the history. He is talking to everyone. Is there anyone ready to help this cause? Only 72 people answered positively. What is 72? What happened to the society? Why everybody is blind and deaf and dumb and silent and sold and following evil? Why is it that after 50 years from the death of the Holy Prophet, that still there are some companions, they are there, still alive, and they heard what the Prophet said about this man? He used to kiss him, hug him, saying, he's from me, I'm from him. That's my son, that's my grandson. That was really a tragedy. But Imam Hussein knows that his helpers are not only those 72. He knew that after almost 1400 years, look at America, another part of the world. How many majalis al-Hussein only in this small city? In every city, in every location, there are tens of different majalis, all saying, Assalamu alayki ya Abu Abdullah. So there are people who are answering that call, inshallah, not only with expression, but with commitment. Those who consider Karbala a commitment, a contribution, and they say, Assalamu alayki ya Abu Abdullah, sincerely, with their tongue and with their actions. Not only the Muslims who are saying, Ya Abu Abdullah, even non-Muslims. Edward Brown, a British philosopher, he says, is there any heart to hear the story of Karbala and doesn't break? A non-Muslim. Is a Gandhi is talking. I bow down before the sacrifice of Hussein. I believe the spread of Islam was due to Hussein's sacrifice and not sword. It's not the swords of Daesh who spread Islam, but the passion of the Prophet and his son and his family. A historian man like Washington Irving says, my hero is Hussein, who embraced all sorts of discomfort under the blazing sun of Karbala and stood immortal. He never dies. Someone like Thomas Carlyle, the great lesson of Karbala is that superiority in number doesn't count when it comes to the truth and falsehood. Every drop of Hussein's blood that flowed in the sand of Karbala became an everlasting source of change and revolution. Hussein showed that a faithful should not hesitate to sacrifice all that he has for the glory of his faith. These are non-Muslims. They are showing that the message of Imam Hussein was universal. It's not just one religion, one sect, one community, but humanity. So there were some people who determined to follow Imam Hussein. Their number was limited at that time, but they determined their destiny based on dignity that they learned from Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It's not easy to decide your destiny under that difficult situation. Difficult situation that the options are numbered and limited. Imam Hussein has only 3 options. Number 1, to express her allegiance to Yazid. He said yes, and say, I recognize that you are a legitimate government. The second option for Imam Hussein to escape from a struggle and give up and forget about his responsibility. And the third option, and that was the only option that Imam Hussein even thought about it, was to resist the oppression and injustice regardless of the cost. Because he believed that هو الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. The life is a test. This life is a school full of ibtila'at and imtihanat and challenges. Allah is testing us. And Imam Hussein considered Karbala a huge test. And he had to do ahsan amala. What is the best action under those circumstances? He knows the spirit of the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya ayyuha al-insan innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadhan famulaqih, that God is perfect and your life is a journey of a struggle, and the purpose is to get closer and closer to the perfection of your destination, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows that this is very hard, but inna ma'al usri yusra. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Yes, every usr and every pressure, every pain, every imtihan in life followed with some openness. Things change. Only through pain and suffering you can gain your goal and your success. Imam Hussein determined his destination based on his faith, his integrity, his intellect, his ethic, and his responsibility. But how Yazid determined his destination? He decided his destiny based on gravity of his greed, the gravity of materialism and might and temptation, and this short life. And all those criminals who followed Yazid, they followed the same ideology. They used to say, Kam tahibu lana, how much you give us to behead the son of the Fatima and Ali? How much you give us? We are ready to kill. They were just negotiating about the price. And you see, brothers and sisters, that confrontation continues even today. We see Ansar al-Hussein in our world who are sacrificing, who are suffering to protect their principles. You see it all over the Middle East and the Muslim world. And at the same time you see the Ali Yazid, that they are saying that Inna Salat al-Hussein la tuqbal. Wow, subhanallah. On the day of Ashura, when Imam Hussein, under those tough situations, decided to pray because it was Zawal al-Dhuhr, somebody from the army of evil, he said, Inna Salat al-Hussein la tuqbal. Your salat, oh Ali Yazid, Ali Shaitan, your salat is accepted. But the son of Fatima is praying. The son of Prophet is praying. And you are saying his salat is not accepted because they disagree with you. They disagree with your corruption. They disagree with your Satan ideology. Is the same Ali Yazid who are represented in the Takfiri ideology and hundreds of other monster groups and gangster groups, that they are saying the same thing. Whoever disagree with them, no matter what, is pray or not, fast or not, Muslim, Shi'i, Sunni, doesn't matter. If you disagree with them, your life, your property, your family, your wife, your children, your integrity, your intellect have no value in their mind. دمك حلال وعائلتك وعرضك وعقلك ودينك, everything halal. and everything deserves to be destroyed because you disagree with their evil ideology. Not only have no respect for life, showing no respect even for the dead. Exactly like Ashura. After they killed Imam Hussein and 72 best angels of this universe, they ordered their horses to walk and to run over the bodies, those pure bodies of the family of the last messenger of Allah. They do not have respect for the living being, no respect for the dead, no respect even for the graves. Somebody was gone from this world 1,000 years ago, and now they have no mercy on the grave of not only ordinary people, those who are the Sahabi, the companions of the Prophet. How much darkness, how much ignorance, how much evil, how much filth, how much shaitan, how much brainwash that human beings get to that point. It was just yesterday that this human rights group, they announced that there was a tribe in Iraq, Abu Namra tribe, that they, just last week, they arrested 300 men from 18 to 55-year-old members of this Iraqi tribe called Abu Namr. And they killed all of them. Some of them beheaded, ذبح, and some of them they shot. And then there was another report that 600 prisoners in a prison in Mosul, they faced the same destination. And what human rights groups said, that they took these poor people over a valley and they forced them to sit down and they shot them on their head in a way that they collapsed and they fall down to the valley, in a case that even if there was 1% of possibility that there is life, they make sure that they are dead. What kind of wuhush? I mean, even the Hollywood movies, although it's not real, it's just movie, they don't do such a thing. I mean, if they want to make the most scary, the most evil movie, that's not even real, but they are not doing such a thing. But they are doing such a thing in reality. Destroying people and destroying their bodies and destroying their graves and destroying the mosque and Husseyniyat. And now you're surprised that the Zionists, they closed Masjid al-Aqsa yesterday, though they opened it later on today, but for the first time from 1967, that was the first time that the Israeli occupiers, they closed Masjid al-Aqsa and Qubbat al-Sakhra, the whole haram, they closed it to everyone and no Muslim could get in. It was the first time in the history of occupation. How come they dare to do such a thing? Well, when they see that the government in Bahrain, they claim that they are Muslim and they destroyed 40 masjid in Bahrain. When they see that this criminal destroyed so many mosques in Syria and Iraq, and if somebody say, Ya Hussein is dead, so it shouldn't be a big surprise for the Zionists who don't believe in a foundation of faith to begin with to commit such a crime. That is why that Ali Yazid still continue the crimes of Karbala. How Yazid said, لعبت هاشم بالملك فلا خبر جاء ولا وحي نزل. This is the philosophy of takfiri. The bottom line is that They want to get to that point to destroy the foundation of this faith. They are doing it by using poor people, ignorant people, brainwashed people, extremist guys to implement this evil. And this is why, brothers and sisters, these are the most dangerous conspiracy against the foundation of Islam in our history. These are the most dangerous because they are victimizing so many youth. You see all this Daesh and Nusra, and you see these guys are young. Young generation from this ummah are hijacked for being used to destroy the faith and to damage the image of Islam, to destroy lives, and to bring that much embarrassment for the Muslims. I think the enemies of Islam, they got it right for themselves. They form this conspiracy and they choose these filthy tools to implement it so they can destroy Islam. Because they knew that Islam is a religion of love, religion of logic, religion of wisdom. If people listen to this religion, they would accept it. They were scared of the future of Islam. They don't want to see that anybody would listen to the logic of this religion. Because they knew the potential, they knew the power of this faith. They knew the power of Quran, the power of Ahlul Bayt, the wisdom of Prophet Muhammad. So they realized that the best way to destroy this powerful message and call is to use religion to destroy religion, to use people who claim they are Muslim to destroy this faith, to tell everybody, look, don't think about Islam, this is Islam, and these are Muslims. So they can get their goal easily, and unfortunately some people, they accepted to be used for this, and obviously the Saudi, they accepted from the beginning in the history of their politics to pay for this conspiracy. So brothers and sisters, now the question is that how can we save our youth? How can we save our faith? How can we make the life of our young generation balanced, that they don't go from one extremism to another extremism? How can we make sure that our youth are responsible? How can we make sure that our youth are leaders of the future, not followers? How can we make sure that they are humble and not arrogant? They are leaders, but they are humble. They are not following those foolish ideologies. How can we make sure that they continue the culture of love, the culture of peace, the culture of passion and respect and understanding, and turn to be positive and powerful energy that bring a spirit and bring more energy to the community and the world, and they contribute to Muslim community and non-Muslim community. This is our challenge. The young generation, targeted by extremism, by ignorance and evil ideologies. This is a big responsibility that inshallah I'm going to talk about that tonight in Ashura service, and I would like to see that in few more nights from our service we can see everyone to not only show our love and emotion for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, but also to learn, because the average soldiers of Imam Hussein also were youth. I mean, you consider from 6-month-old to 33 years old, and then the elderly, few elderly in Karbala, like Muslim and Habib and others, you get to the point that the average age was between 20 and 25. These are the average members of army of compassion of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So Karbala is also about our youth. And this is why I'm going to talk about this subject inshallah tonight. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يفرج عن المسلمين ويرد كيد أعدائهم على نحورهم وأن يقطع أيادي الفتنة والفرقة والقاتل والإرهاب عن بلاد المسلمين وأن يقى الأمة شر الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن والحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. وإلى الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. السلام عليكم.